Well, I just don't know. I think I'm like most people, especially people here in the Northeast, thinking all weekend about the shooting up in Connecticut. And then you come out here and you see these beautiful Christmas lights, and I don't know, I think they're more beautiful this year than they've ever been, and it makes me so just sad because, you know, they're really for kids, and then you think about that horrifying circumstance. What part of that do you think about that's going to make any difference? You think about the kids in class? That's too awful to think about it. You think about their parents and their friends, and getting that message from the school and finding out that their lives are irrevocably broken, destroyed, ruined. You think about your own kid. I take him to school every now and then, and you know, what? Are we supposed to be worried about dropping our kids off at school now? I don't know. I never worried about it before. I always thought, well, here, school is a good place where my son will be free of the idiot decisions made by his father. I hope, and I hope that that's still the case. But then, my God, you just, and believe me, I'm not dumb enough to think that this is a problem of guns, because before there were guns, people were killing one another, and so you can't just say that it's guns, and you can't just say that it's mental health or emotional problems, because people with all manner of problems don't necessarily kill other people. But just out of my own interest today, we had research put together. There's 5 pages here, and I'm so ignorant about stuff. The only gun legislation that I remember was the James Brady bill. When Ronald Reagan, the assassination attempt that paralyzed James Brady, Ronald Reagan, of course, recovered and went on to continue as president. And that was, in effect, had something to do with, I think, a 2-week waiting period before you could get a gun. So that took place in, President Clinton signed that into bill in 1994. And then I think there was another assault rifle piece of legislation. I think that came and went. And as I understand it, the woman whose guns were used in this were all acquired legally. But again, you hear that semi-automatic, and it had a clip that contained 30 rounds of ammunition, and I don't know why do you need that? And you can have guns. 50% of the households in this country have guns. So we're never going to say you can't have guns. You know, people take them to a shooting range, take them out target practicing, take them hunting, do anything you want. But I honestly, and I've been around wildlife quite a lot, I've never seen a deer worth 30 rounds of ammo in an automatic rifle. I mean, you know, 1 shot, 2 shots, you may be done for the day. So that part I don't understand. So we got to look, and I got 5 or 6 pages here, and originally I thought, you know what, I'm just going to read this, and then there's no point in reading it because I don't know what it proves. I don't know what it means. The problem here is so multifaceted. It's not guns. It's not mental health necessarily. Those are part of the equation, but there's also an X factor. Who the hell knows what that is? I don't know what that is. But here, since 1994, there have been 70, and these are just school shootings. There have been 70 episodes of school shootings in the United States since 1994, after the Brady bill was passed. And we don't have all of them here, and these are limited to schools. We didn't look for other crimes. We didn't look for, and there are several infamous shootings now. And you think about, good Lord, really? I mean, should there be that many? Does that surprise you that there have been 70 shootings at a school?
Yes.
Yeah, me too. I would have thought, hopefully, well, 1 a year would be too many, wouldn't it?
Of course.
So, from my perspective, having my own son and having the same feelings that every parent has, and not being introspective or smart enough, I like it when I hear or see something that makes me feel a little bit better about the situation. And President Obama was in Connecticut last night speaking to a high school gymnasium as part of a memorial service, and he said some things. First of all, I was happy he was there. Thank God I don't have a child in that school, but as a parent, we all know what that is. We just all know what that is. You drop your kid off and you don't see him again. Honestly, that's really life now? That's what it's going to be? So I like to look to some people who are smarter, and I thought President Obama, he's talking about the situation, and he said a couple of things. You know, no single law, no set of laws can eliminate evil from the world or prevent every senseless act of violence in our society, but that can't be an excuse for inaction. So right there, I feel better. It can't be an excuse for inaction. That means he is committed, he's going on the record, some kind of action. And again, you can't point at one single element of this and say, that's the problem. You can't take guns away from people, and you can't cure everybody who has some sort of unusual outlook on the world. But he's going to take some action, so we feel better about that. Because what choice do we have? We can't accept events like this as routine, and by God, you take a look at a compilation like this and you think, it is routine. Holy crap, 70 of them since 1995, at least 70 of them. Are we really prepared to say that we're powerless in the face of such carnage? That's the other thing. You know, you just come home and you get sad and you get mopey and you start to think and think and think, well, there's nothing you can do. What can you do? I don't know. I mean, everybody who's got a kid who goes to a school, the schools are having meetings today about what can we do. Well, if the school's having a meeting today about what can we do, to me that means there might be something they weren't doing. Now, I know, you know, if a guy decides he wants to shoot his way into your school, maybe there is nothing you can do, but the President of the United States is prepared for some kind of an action. Don't worry about the politics being too hard. Are we prepared to say that such violence on our children year after year is somehow the price of our freedom? So there you go. That's our President of the United States, ladies and gentlemen, going on the record. And in a small measure, I feel better that he's looking out for us in this regard. It's a sad, sad holiday season. We'll be right back, everybody.